Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Dishonored Definitive Edition Complete Stealth Pacifist walkthrough. And this is the first real mission of the game, and this is also known as the Coldridge Prison. And you end up in a cell after the Empress has been assassinated, and someone has been kind enough to put a key on your food tray so you can sneak out of your cell and choke out this guard. This is the tutorial level of the game. We are gonna get into the basics of maneuvering stealthily, choking out guards, assassinating guards if you choose to do that, which I won't do, because we want the trophy or achievement, also known as clean hands. So I placed that guard in my cell, and we're gonna use these pillars to our advantage to sneak past one of his friends. When a guard detects you, or an enemy detects you, you're gonna see arrows appearing over his head, like did right there. You have not been spotted until those arrows turn red. As long as they're white, or they're just the lowest degree of seeing you, as it was there, two of the two lowest arrows, or lightnings to be more correct.
Yeah, but I had to crack
As long as they are the only ones that are, so to say, highlighted, you have not been spotted. The guard has just seen something out of the corner of his eye and is a bit more suspicious. And something you're gonna learn in this game is the value of closing doors. Always close doors behind you, because if you leave a door open, guards will notice it and they will become suspicious because they know that that door wasn't opened. So always close them behind you, just to be certain. As we take down another guard. This is an animation you're gonna see quite a lot in this walkthrough. There is a bone charm that makes you choke them out faster. And if the bone charms weren't random, I would have loved to use that one just to make this go faster, because at times you can get tired of seeing that, and that will be almost the only takedown I will use, except for sedative arrows for my little crossbow that we get later in this level. But we continue onwards. We are gonna get a bomb to get out of this place. We're gonna have to blow a hole in a big armored door. And that is the main objective of this mission, just to get out of here and get to the people who gave you the key. The resistance that know that there is a conspiracy and want to help you take down the people behind the assassination. So we head into this room and open this safe, because in here we can find a conveniently placed bomb. And as I'm a bit of a neat freak, we close the safe door behind us, pick up some money. It's always great to pick up money lying around, because in your hub between missions you can go to a guy named Piero who sells you different upgrades and ammunition and all that great stuff you need to be a great assassin. And I like to stock up on sedative arrows, as I said, at times. In this room, as we head over to the left, there are two guards, and this is quite weird actually, because I moved behind this plate thingy and lean out. Leaning is a great skill to use, because I don't think they can see you if you're behind cover and lean out. And as soon as he turns around and starts talking to the other guard again, we can continue onwards into this room. And the guards in the room we just came out of, they despawn. As soon as you get in here, they just disappear. Or at least they stay in that room. They never come in here, so you don't have to think about them. And as I said, Piero is an inventor. He sells you upgrades, he sells you ammunition, and all that good stuff. And I like to stock up on, as I said, sleep darts in between missions, so it's always great to pick up some money so you can buy them from Piero, because he's a bit of an opportunist. And as you can see, instead of choking this guard, I did a blocking move. And that is one of the only gripes I have with this game, is that you have to be very exact with the chokehold. Because when you sneak up behind a guard, make sure you see the symbol for choking out down on the bottom right of your screen before you press it, or else he will just do that block. And if you're really unlucky, the enemy will hear you, turn around, spot you, and you're gonna have to reload your latest save. And saves are a great thing that you should utilize a lot in this game. I have trimmed out all the parts where I have saved, and hopefully I have done it in a way so they won't affect the video at all. I've tried to mask them as well as I could. But you should always save constantly. If you want to, save after every guard you put to sleep. Because a lot of this, especially the first time you're playing it, is a lot of trial and error to learn all the patrol patterns and to know where the guards are. And saving is a great way to learn that. And we open this big steel plated door. Be aware there are 2 guards in the next room. One of them is standing down here with his back towards us, and the other one patrols back and forth up the stairs, or on top of the stairs. So we sneak in as soon as the guy above the stairs goes out of our line of sight, and we take his little friend and put him in here. Because the door at the end of that room is where we're gonna place the bomb. And I've had times that I have left the bodies of these 2 guards in the room where I blow up the door, and they die from the blast. So my best tip to you is to place them outside of this room. So just wait for him to make his little patrol. He almost spots me once more, so I lean out instead, or at least I try to lean out. When you start the leaning animation, you can move a little bit to the side. So if you started leaning a bit too far in, you can also crouch a little bit. And crouching in this game. Crouching is your main mode of transport when you're not blinking. You see the little symbol down to the left that shows a person a bit hunched over. That is symbol that shows that you are in a crouching state. When you crouch, you are completely silent. You don't make any noise, and the guards can't hear you. And that is a good thing to know. If you walk normally, you make some noise, and if you sprint, you make a lot of noise. So then people will hear you and they will come see who's running. So you should always crouch. And after this mission you will get the blinking ability, which is basically a teleport, and you will be invincible. So now that I've taken out all the guards and placed them in the adjacent room, just as an extra precaution, I'm gonna close the blast door and place the bomb. So we place it and back up a little bit. You can back up a bit further than I do because I get hit by the blast and take a small amount of damage, and as soon as it blows the door open, just run out and fall into the river. Because some guards are standing over there to the right, you can see them right at the edge of the screen, and they will look up towards the blast door. So as long as you're fast down into the water, stay underwater until you reach the shore, so we can head on into the sewers. Then you should be absolutely safe. They will not spot you. And in this area coming up, the sewers, there are no enemies that you will encounter for a while at least, but there are booby traps. And here the game shows you one of the big hazards, because there are plague infected rats in Dunwall. And this is what happens if you end up with a bunch of them. It's not a pretty way to go. They will chew you down to the bone in seconds. And that is something you have to be aware of when you do a pacifist run, because when you choke out enemies or you use your sleep darts, be careful with where you place their bodies, because if you shoot a sleep dart in an enemy and he falls down into water, then he drowns, and it's considered a kill on your behalf. Also, if you choke him out or use a sleep dart on him and place him on the ground and the rats get to him and start chewing on him, it's also a kill. And that will end up on your scoreboard at the end of the game, and it will negate the clean hands trophy, because you cannot take a single life in this game. And as you can see, there is a big bunch of rats down there, and we also have some corpses, so we're gonna use them to lure the rats away from that vault handle so I can continue onwards. Threw the first body a bit too far from them, so I had to grab the other one. And as soon as they start feasting on the corpse, we just open this and continue onwards. And at the end of this sewer there are some enemies, but here it's just, I think there are some rats and also, as I said, a few booby traps. So be careful. I almost ran straight into one of them, but as long as you're a bit aware of your surroundings and don't rush it too much, you shouldn't have any problems at all. As you can see, there is one. So I pick up this bottle, throw it at the tripwire, and set off the booby trap. And here we have a note from the people helping us, along with some other goodies, like your crossbow and your assassin blade. And the assassin blade looks cool and it's amazing if you go for the kills, but we won't be using it. But the crossbow I will use at times. And here is another booby trap, so we pick up a bottle and miss it completely. So we go back for another bottle. Apparently this guy drank himself to death down here and left his little money bag. We can grab that bottle, throw it at tripwire and continue onwards. And here's a safe with some goodies. I don't know how well you can see it on screen right now, because here I am watching the preview and it is very dark. But the reason for me breaking those bottles is that the combination for the safe is on the back of that shelf. And the combination is always the same, so you can watch me just put it in there and use it to open it in your game. Because all the times I've played through this game, I can't remember the combination right now, but I think it's 4-5-1 or something. And it's always been the same combination. That is one of the consistent parts of this game. And now we're gonna sneak past some guards, and here is where your creativity comes into play. So jump down behind the first one and just sneak up behind him, keep track of his friend over there and choke him out and let him lie right there, because no one will come back to check on him. It's always good to hide the bodies when you choke someone out, unless you're absolutely certain that no one will patrol there. And be a bit careful when you sneak up on this little rock ledge and onto the pipe, because if you move too fast, the guy walking there, who says that we won't get past him at his watch, great timing. If you're too quick, he will spot you. And here I make a mistake. When you jump off that pipe, make sure you jump straight into water, not down on the ground and then into the water. You saw me almost getting spotted. I came really close. So jump straight into the water. Don't land on the ground before you get in there. And that is, I would say, the hardest part of this level. It's quite an easy level. It's just made a bit harder because you don't have any supernatural powers yet. But we will get them in a little intermission sequence between this mission and the next, which I haven't included in this walkthrough. I've just focused on the mission parts. And after every mission you will see this screen, and you see I have no kills, no detections, nothing, no chaos. All is well. I have never been spotted. And that is the end of this video, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.